Hi there, students. Terra Firma. Solid ground, solid land, on the surface of the earth, on the solid earth, as opposed to in the air or on the sea. So when I was a kid, I used to love climbing trees, but nowadays I prefer to keep my feet on terra firma, on the surface of the planet. I took a ferry from India to Colombo, and the weather was incredibly rough, and I was really glad to get my feet on terra firma when it had finished. Or after a long flight in an aeroplane, it's really cramped, and it's an uncomfortable situation no matter where you sit, and it's always a good feeling to get back onto terra firma again. So this is the solid surface of the planet, solid ground, dry land. Or maybe if you're walking through a marsh and your feet are going into the mud, well, when you get out of the marsh, it's really nice to be on terra firma again, because with all this marsh, you'll keep sinking into it. We were walking through the quicksand, and it was wonderful to get off the quicksand and back onto terra firma, back onto a solid part of the Earth's planet, something that is not going to sink. So yes, this is dry land compared to being on the sea or in the air or somewhere where you keep sinking in. So yes, it was good to get back on terra firma after a very rough ferry ride. It was great fun going on the hot air balloon, and we soared into the sky. But when the wind blew, it was a little bit frightening, and I was glad to get my feet back on terra firma. Sailors can spend a long time at sea, but I think it's also nice for them to get back onto terra firma. Let's see, this originally comes from Latin, terra firma, firm land, but this was used, I think, in the 17th century, talking about the Italian mainland, or the part of the Italian mainland that were part of the state of Venice. So Venice is full of islands, and you can actually use terra firma to say not on the islands but on the mainland. So I guess you could say that we were on this the small island of Samson for all day, and then we sailed back to a larger island, and then finally we took the helicopter back to terra firma in Penzance. Okay, so terra firma, solid land. Maybe we were walking through the mango swamp, and there was almost nowhere to stand. We were always sinking in, and we finally managed to find terra firma again. Okay, so having been on various adventures, I am glad to be back on terra firma, the solid part of the Earth's surface, dry land, solid land, terra firma. Take your head out of the clouds and put your feet back on terra terra firma, and like that you will be able to see where you are living. Or maybe an astronaut, an astronauty is very happy to get back onto terra firma. Okay, so terra firma, it's just land. Uh, terra firma. It feels safe in contrast with being in the air or at sea or in a marsh or a swamp or something where you're sinking into it. Um, Okay, so yeah, terra firma. Yeah, get your mind out of the clouds and put your feet back on terra firma, on solid ground, on dry land. I'm glad to be back on terra firma again. The flying squirrel grabbed its meal and then ate its meal on terra firma. Yeah, what a relief to stand on terra firma after 2 days at sea. Formality. Everyone knows this. I think I'm going to give it a 5.5 in formality. Use it anywhere. Comes from Latin, solid ground. Terra firma.